Welcome back to another part in this series. So to pretty much summarize everything that has been done is, and pretty much I talk about what happened to the block, taking the engine out of the car, taking the engine apart, seeing what damage has been done, and that's pretty much summarizes all of the parts that I've done in this series so far. So in this part of the series, all it is pretty much just getting ready for the new engine to arrive, getting things ready, so when it arrives, I'm ready to go and not last minute franticking, ordering parts, this or that, but trying to plan ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way from starting over there and then just make my way towards there. So this is the block right here, so this I will be keeping. I'm not going to be throwing this away. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but maybe somewhere later down the road I'll figure something out. So I got this cleaned, and it looks pretty good when it's clean. Too bad I'm not using it. But and then here's the rest of the block. So this is going to be trashed. So for right now, I'm holding on to these until the new engine arrives. Then I'll throw these out and I'll explain. Actually, I'll explain right now. So right now I still have the bolts on the block, and also here as well, so you can kind of see. So the reason why I still have them on here is because whenever the new engine arrives, I can go ahead and just loosen these up and move them over to the new block. Because if I just take these off now and put them in a baggie, I don't want to forget, where did this screw go? I'll probably figure it out, but I don't want to make my life harder than it already is. So I'm trying to make it simple as possible. So if that means holding on to these until the engine arrives, then I'll just hold on to them until it arrives then. Next are the pistons. So these are the pistons that did not get damaged at all. These are still in good condition. I'll probably end up just trashing these ones. I already put aside ones I'm gonna save. The crank, I'm actually gonna keep it. It's pretty cool looking. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm definitely gonna keep that piece. I'll just skip the boxes for right now. And then, so this is the pistons that I'm gonna be keeping. So 3 of them to be exact. So one of them is the one that broke in half. The other one is the one that is bent but did not break off, but just had that crack right there. And then the third one is a perfectly fine one. One did not get damaged, but just to have a good one, just for whatever reason, I suppose. I also did clean the valve covers, because these will be going on to the, I don't know if I'll be using these or using the other valve covers that came with the engine, and maybe paint a different color, but I might still go with the same color scheme. That's more than likely what I'm going to end up doing anyways. Over here I have some accessories that I got cleaned. The starter, later on sometime this week I'm going to do a little bit of science and see that if this thing works, which I hope it is still working, because I do not want to buy another starter, because this one's pretty much close to brand new, which I'm pretty bummed out if it got fried. The water pump, I'm going to be rebuilding the water pump, and this I'll actually do its own video in rebuilding this. Power steering's nice and clean, and then the oil, the oil pump, I'm just going to keep it as a spare. Hopefully I don't need to switch it. I hope, fingers crossed, I don't need to take it out, but I'm just going to have it just for parts. Now the boxes, I'll talk about that last, but here so far I've ordered some parts that needed, that I need, some gaskets, some O-rings, changing out the coolant temperature, more O-rings, some screws for the headers. So this right here is the friction plate for the 034 lightweight flywheel. So it's recommended whenever you change the clutch out, you have to get a new friction plate, not to use the old friction plate that was with your previous clutch. Speaking of clutch, my previous clutch setup was the JHM stage 3 clutch for the RS4. So I will not be using that clutch for this new build. And so the stage 3 clutch, it worked great, you know, and it still was doing great even with the VF Supercharger kit. The reason why I'm switching it out is because this new build, it's going to be more, it's going to produce more boost, and producing more boost means more power. So I want to be on the safe side and just upgrade the clutch. So here, let me show you the clutch. Here is the new clutch. It's the stage 4. It's by Ringer Racing, and so this will be the new clutch that's going to be paired up with the new, with my 034 lightweight flywheel. So I'll still be using the same flywheel. So an explanation about what's in that box. So what happened to me, so right now it is September 25th, and the engine it finally arrived to AM Tuned about a week ago, and it wasn't until Friday, so a few days ago, Friday, actually yesterday, because today's Saturday. So yesterday, Alex finally got to tearing down the new engine that's going to be replacing this one, and he was inspecting it. Some good news and some bad news. So first, the good news. So as far as the long block goes, the short block goes, it's all good. It's all usable. Cylinder walls are in good condition. It's, you know, ready for the build process. But the bad news were the heads. So before I keep going on, prior to purchasing that engine, I was well aware of by the seller that the valves in cylinder 8 were bent. So, but when you put like a little camera to go see if the valves broke off or anything, the valves were still attached. They didn't break off, and it's just beat up the whole cylinder wall. I'm sure you guys seen pictures of that happening. So that did not happen with that engine. So I was well aware that the valves were already bent, but it didn't matter because the valves are getting upgraded. But with that being said, something happened to the heads, that the rocker arms got pretty jacked up. So since the rocker arms got jacked up, and then the cams were kind of a little bit rusted, I don't know how that happened, how cams can get rusted, but so Alex just messaged me and said, you know, told me with pictures, you know, what was going on with the heads, and he said, you know, if you can send my heads from my old engine. So I was like, yeah, you know, it kind of sucks because I don't want to, you know, because cost of shipping is kind of, you know, it's still kind of pricey, but whatever, you know, I'd rather, you know, this engine be done right and not half-assed. So so that's what's in this box. So there's one set of heads right here, and the other one's right up on top, so it's all in one box, and it is one heavy box. It's 105 pounds. That's why I have all the duct tape. I may have overdone it with the duct tape, but the last thing I want is somewhere in shipping for the box to break open all of a sudden, you know, it gets damaged or it falls out, one of the heads fall out, or they both fall out, and by the time it gets to Alex, there's only one head or no head. So I just want to play it safe, make sure, you know, do it right the first time. That's always my motto, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So I'm doing my best on my end for it to be just a one-time thing here. So that's what this box is. As things come in, I'll be recording, you know, what else I got in the mail, and as for right now, that is it. And I guess in the next coming days, I'm gonna go ahead and see and record if the starter works. So fingers crossed. Today I'm gonna check if the starter works. So I'm gonna do Science Class 101. So I'm gonna be using the battery. So obviously the ground goes to the ground and the live wire goes to the live wire using jumper cables. So here the ground can go anywhere along the body. I have it right here, And then what's going to happen is I'm going to use these two. So one's going to be touching this right here, while the other one's going to be touching the little connector right here, while at the same time hooked up to that. So if it works, what's going to happen is this little gear is going to come out into this right here and start spinning. And if it's not good, I'm going to get another starter, which is going to suck. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera. And yeah, so welcome to science class. I have the ground connected to the body and the live wire connected to this bolt right here. So I'll set up the camera and show you guys some science. So I'm going to connect this flathead right here, and then this one I'm going to be connecting to the little connector and this little connector and bridging to this flathead right here, and that should in theory work if everything is working perfectly. Science.
I am a scientist. You're a scientist. Science. No.
So it's another day. So I actually had to go back and see what I've recorded last, because I couldn't remember what I was talking about. And I realized in the last clip, I was testing out the starter, and I realized I was wearing the same shirt. So I will say this shirt has been washed between that recording and this recording. So this is not the same exact dirty shirt, trust me. As promised, I got more stuff in the mail, and I'll just go through what I've ordered so far. So pretty much here, quite a bit right now. So this is the new water pump. So by the time that I am recording this, so actually it's right now, it's October 10th right now. So the video for how to rebuild the water pump, it's already up. That was actually got uploaded last Saturday. So the video for the water pump is already up, as mentioned. What else? And okay, so I got new spark plugs. So these will be replacing the old ones that are right there, because not going to be using the old ones. The new for the oil housing, I actually ordered one the first time. I actually needed two, because with the VF kit you need two of these because of the relocation mount. Here's your camshaft positioning sensors. One, they go on the back of the heads on the rear timing cover, so that's where these go. Got myself a new crank sensor. So this thing is gonna go right here, so that replaces this sensor right here. Figured I'll change it out because it's easier to change that out now. So that's what this is. Got myself a new battery cover. This thing right here is the coolant connector, and for me, if you're familiar with this piece, it's this back hose right here to your heater core. So this hose right here is still brand new, so it's definitely new. If you've never changed this before, and if you're doing the timing, I'm pretty sure more than likely this actually happened to me. That piece broke off on me, and I didn't even realize to disconnect that piece. So I actually had to buy a new one, and those are like $100, like almost $90 something brand new. But if you get just this, it's about $5, so it's just cheaper just to change this out instead of having to change out that old hose, because this piece with time, especially if you never changed it, gets very, very brittle. I got brand new fuel injectors. So the last fuel injectors I had were the 500 cc's. These ones are 1,000. There's nothing wrong with the 500, but with what I'm trying to do with this next build, those fuel injectors might be a bottleneck. So I just want to play it safe and just go ahead and just upgrade the fuel injectors. These are crush washers for the drain plug. These were actually 20 cents, so I actually bought 5 of them. Might as well have them as my parts. Same thing with this, you know, I'm gonna have this and this as like my extra like storage parts if I need it. So these screws here are for the valve cover. So 2 of mine were kind of stripped, so I got 2 new ones. These things are pretty pricey, so joy. A new temp. So this is actually going to be a temperature. I'm sorry. this is a temperature sensor that I will be installing into the manifold of the VF kit. So what's going to happen is it's going to go in the temperature. So right now the MAF is what reads the air temperature, but it's only reading before it gets to the supercharger, and that's kind of useless information. I want to know what the temperature is right before it goes into the cylinders. So that's what this is going to be. And then this thing right here. So this is also for the valve covers, and it's the center part of the valve covers right here. So when I was removing them, one of them, this one on me, broke off. I don't know where that there it is down here. So it sheared on me, so joy. So I had to get a new one of these as I speak, which is October. I think I already said the date. It's October 10th right now. So I have two things on order. One is a new MAF sensor, because the OEM one, it may or may be hitting its limit to, you know, what MAFs are supposed to do. So Alex at AM Tune recommended me to get a better aftermarket MAF sensor. So I'll actually post a link, not a link, I'll post a screenshot of what I'm talking about, and also a link to the MAF sensor if you want one. I guess you want to upgrade yours. So that's on its way somewhere in the mail. And also heat wrap. So I'm going to be heat wrapping the my headers, because they are professionally ceramic coated. So I want to help reduce the heat. I'm going to heat wrap them at heat wrap them as well. This is an overview of everything that I just got in the mail, along with what I got in the mail a few weeks back ago. I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure I forgot something. I'm going to forget something as I'm installing the engine back onto the car. I'm sure I'm going to forget something, but fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but more than likely that may happen. So that will kind of stink, because then I gotta wait for that part to arrive. Right now, the engine, Alex told me like around towards the end of October or early November, he'll be done with what he needs to do with rebuilding the, you know, the new to me engine, and then whatever long it takes for it to be shipped to my house. When that engine arrives, so once this video gets uploaded and goes live, the engine should already be here. So I will be already, you know, putting the engine, you know, what I need to do on my end, put it back together, what needs to go on, and also then putting it back into the car. So right now, as far as videos go, last Saturday I just uploaded a how to rebuild the water pump, and then I have one coming out next this coming Saturday, and then this one will be another 2 Saturdays from that. So whatever that is, and hopefully by the time this thing gets uploaded, I'll already have start recording, because as of right now I have really nothing else to record as far as the progress for this. So the next step is waiting until late October, late October, early November, until that engine, then I can start recording some more stuff. So I've been trying to do my best to separate these series into 2 weeks apart. So so I don't have, like, you know, record it, upload it, and then have a long period. So I at least have at least 2 weeks. So hopefully after this video gets uploaded, that'll give me at least 2 weeks to, you know, film something once the engine is here, and have, you know, again, the 2-week process. That'll be my goal, but it may, you know, be different as time goes on. But enough of me rambling and talking. So with all that said, I'm pretty excited for that new engine to come home. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good one.